Greetings, I'm Sabina, and this is Inksanity. As many of you guys know, Kristen and I have been doing a read along of The House of the Scorpion. It is really, really good. So if you haven't read it yet, I definitely suggest checking it out. Look at all the awards it won. We were supposed to read like 200 pages, and I did it all in one sitting. As all authors know, reading is one of the best ways to help your craft. And since I've decided to write, I haven't been able to read a book without looking through it for little helpful hints that I might be able to take away or things that I really should stay away from. So today I'm going to be doing an in-depth reading about this book, and I like to call this an author's look at a book. This video will contain spoilers, so if you haven't read The House of Scorpion yet, get away. Now, the first thing that I wanted to talk about is her portrayal of children. It is amazing. A lot of authors either think that kids are angels that can do no wrong and see no evil in the world, or are just like really dumb. Nancy Farmer, on the other hand, portrays these kids as snotty little brats that are new to the world, and sometimes they have their great moments, and sometimes they're just mean to each other, which is kinda how kids act if you've been around them lately. She even has the children have a little mini power struggle in here, just so like them. The one problem I actually have with it is Matt. He's painted as a really naive kid who just doesn't understand how the world works at the very beginning, at the very least. And then the kids come. Celia has told him to stay away, hide, don't let anybody see him. But after being spotted once, he's like, oh my god, kids! I don't know. I just feel like he should have been a bit more wary about them. I get that he wants companionship, and this is like huge for him, but I feel like after being told so many times, don't let anybody see you, a kid's first reaction, and second reaction, and third reaction should be, I shouldn't let anybody see me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bit too into the naive character. But that's what I got from it. Talking about that, later on, I really love his submission to the oppressive nature that the rest of the house is giving to clones. This line sums it up really well. Of course, he was a clone. He wasn't supposed to touch humans. It's not angry, it's not upset, it's a fact. Matt has decided that he is less than human. And because he's decided that he's less than human, everything else makes sense to him. I also really love the fact that once he accepts that he's different from humans and kind of lesser than humans, that's when he's actually able to see what humans are really about. That's when he starts learning about the Ejets and Steve and his horribleness and just everything that humans have done wrong. And yet, somehow, it doesn't click into his head that he himself is not worse than them. It's really sad, but really powerful. And it's one of the things that I really love about this book. And having read Nancy Farmer's depiction of oppression from like a young age to teen, that's going to really help me because in one of my series, Death Applicants, that's exactly what happens. So I'm really glad I got to reread this. Another character that I felt was done really well is El Patron, who is the guy that Matt is a clone of, I guess. I don't know if there's like a name for this relationship. I feel like that there should be. But that's a whole different story. The reason why he's such a great character is that he doesn't hide that he's kind of evil and that he really doesn't have many morals. And still, Matt worships him. Because as a kid, he's the only one who's really nice to him except for Maria. And I'll get to Maria later. But yeah, El Patron has like this terrible past, which he like climbed out of, and it's kind of like the American dream, only warped, because he turns into such a cruel old man whose only thing he has are his possessions, and he's not willing to let any of them go because they're all he has. The more I think about it, the more connections I can draw between this book and Great Gatsby, which is kind of weird because this one's about clones and Great Gatsby's about like the American dream and parties and love and all that fancy schmancy stuff. But then again, I really like The Great Gatsby and I really like this book. Anyway, I wanted to talk about Maria. She is the only character in this book that I don't believe in. Anyway, Maria. She's the only character that I really just don't believe in. With her upraising and her sisters and who she's around, I just don't feel like she would turn out how she did. I just don't see her being this sweet little angel while everybody else around her just constantly is being not the nicest person they can. I can't see her in this setting. And that throws me off every single time she comes in. And she's kind of a big part. I guess that's a good thing for me as an author to note, that no matter what my message is for this book, my characters need to fit their setting. If they wouldn't have thrived in this setting, there's no way that my readers are going to believe it. So I have to make sure that every single character has a reason for how they are. And that reason shouldn't be, well, they're who they are. So that's how I feel about the characters. Like it or leave it, your choice. One last nitpicky thing is Nancy Farmer has a tendency to obviously symbolize. And I have that problem too. Like, thinking back, it's a bit of a big problem. And seeing as how it comes off in this book, I really need to slow it down and look through stuff and just double check that I'm not doing it. My beta readers, sorry if it's really bad. Love you. I feel like I've yammered on for like ever about this, so I'm gonna stop here. I might bring this back up another time if you guys like it, and if you don't, I might do it anyway because this is really helpful for me. I hope it's helpful for you. Yeah. See you in 2 weeks. Bye! Rainbow Pie says that you should go hit the subscribe button and like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, okay?